Well, hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. So Joshua, guess what?
What?
You probably already know this information. You probably already figured this out. Apparently, Scorpio is the most represented sign of presidential zodiac. What do you have to say about that?
I did know that. I think second is Aquarius.
Is it? Well, let's see who our Aquarius presidents have been. We got a whole list out here. We got a whole list. Oh, God, there are a lot of fucking Aquariuses. Abraham Lincoln was an Aquarius? I had no idea.
He was such an Aquarius. What was George? Oh, he's a Pisces.
Pisces. Okay. I don't know that I would have expected that. I think I would have expected him to be an Aries, if I'm honest.
Oh, that's right, because he's the first.
He's the first.
What about Carter? Air?
I don't know.
He seems very Cancerian. What's Carter?
Do you see him? Jimmy Carter, Libra.
Oh, he's a Libra. They're so tough to figure out. That makes sense. Yeah, he's very airy.
Well, what should we know about a Scorpio president like Biden here?
That's such a good question. Well, the thing is that I think that he's the voice of our country, so we want to get into the vibe of Scorpio. So I think that's really good to ask. Scorpio is a fixed water sign, and they are very, very powerful and ambitious. And the reason why they are so strong is because they've been through hell and back. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, which pertains to emotional trauma. So people who are under the sign of Scorpio or have a strong Plutonian or Scorpionic influence, they've gone through things that most of us have not. So that makes them very, very, very strong and very much like, is that all you got? You know what I mean? Because they've been through hell and back. So they're very powerful. They are ruled by the sex organs.
I don't know that. I was just at a call with my locals community, and one of my members told me about a time she met Joe Biden, and he was very handsy. Let's just say he was very, very handsy with all the women.
Yeah. I do think that, though, what's interesting is that even though Scorpio does rule sex, I do think that Scorpios don't get enough credit for being into like simple, innocent pleasures. Like I've had great relationships with Scorpios with no sex involved, and it's just like doing like a good turn for another. And they're honest, and they're, I think that they're, I don't know. I like Scorpios personally, but I think that to know that with Biden being a Scorpio, what that means, it's like transformation, especially because the U.S. is soon going through. We just started our Pluto return, so it's a very, very much like a rebirth. Like things are going to be very, very different from how they had been.
Well, I'm not sure if that's necessarily a good thing with all the executive orders flowing out of Biden's office, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But Grace, what's that?
19, right?
Oh, there's more coming now. There's more. Hang on to your hat. But Grace has a question, and maybe we should do a portion of like an episode about this sometime, because I actually get asked this question a lot. Joshua, will you explain my astrology? Because you probably know my chart better than anyone.
Yeah, Kamala has such a beautiful chart. So she's an Aries, right? And so it's so interesting. Like there's so much dichotomy. Karlyn is an Aries, but she has a stellium, which is 3 or more planets in the 7th house, which actually rules the opposite sign of Aries, Libra. To add to this, Karlyn has this beautiful Libra rising, which is also the opposite of Aries. So you have those two cardinal things. So there's the energy of being the warrior, and then there's also the lover. So, you can see Karlyn, like she's a fighter, right? Online, she will fight for things and she'll stand up for things. But at the same time, you can also tell that she has an extremely like charming side to her, scarily so. So the balance of that makes Karlyn who she is. And also I think that the two, of course, come together because when she's giving, either presentations or her amazing speeches or just expressing herself in her videos, she's very logical and very linear and very lawyer-like. She would have made a great lawyer. So, and that's also a 7th house thing and also a Libra thing. So Karlyn's an Aries, but she's also, there's a lot of like Libra 7th house stuff in there with a Leo moon, which makes her a lot of fun as
Makes
well.
me fun. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Joshua only ever says nice things about my chart. He never says like she's a total pain in the ass, which is probably why I haven't fired him as of yet.
Joshua hates getting fired.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Naruto, just random plug. Lauren Chen has a new movie/TV review channel now called Mediaholic. Thought you might be interested in some of her reviews. I will have to check out that channel. I did hear that Lauren had a new channel. I have not had a chance to look at it yet. And guys, I have to tell you too, Joshua is an Aries, and his birthday was yesterday. So we should all wish Joshua happy 25th birthday in the chat.
Aquarius. I'm not. You said I'm an Aries.
Oh, did I say you were an Aries? Aquarius. I meant Aquarius. I was distracted.
I'm in the first house though, so that does make me.
I was distracted by not telling them your real age.
Yeah. It is 25. I don't know if people are.
Of course it is. All right, guys. Welcome to Nothing Remotely Controversial. This is a show that Joshua and I do every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m., whether we're ready for it or not, where I talk about the news and really whatever I find interesting. And Joshua, who is a professional psychic, uses his psychic and astrology and tarot card magic to help us peer beneath the surface and determine what is really going on in the world. Now, sometimes it's fun and sometimes it's scary, just like that. In fact, the first question I'm going to ask you, I'm a little scared to ask you, so we're gonna cross that bridge in a second. But I just want to say, guys, we do check your super chats for any burning questions that you might have for Joshua about what is going on in the world, what is going to happen with Biden's presidency or impeachment or whatever else. So if you want to send those in, the only thing that we ask is that you do make it a very high level question that is of interest to everyone, not something that is just pertinent to you, like should I move to Wisconsin, which would be a horrible idea because Wisconsin voted blue. So we don't want to move to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a horrible state. We're going to be losing a lot of energy jobs, and it's their own doing because they voted for Joe Biden. Allegedly. Maybe not. But we're going to go with that for YouTube standards for right now. So, Joshua, the first question I have, I'm going to break my own rule for a second. And I'm going to ask a personal question. I have something I have a very vested interest in at the moment. Because, as we know, sadly, Brandon Straka from the Walkaway campaign was arrested by the FBI yesterday. And I did a video earlier today on the channel talking about that. So you guys can check out that video for more information. By the way, do not listen to any of the media reporting on this because I have read a number of articles about Brandon in the last day and they're all getting shit wrong. So do not trust any of the media on what they're reporting because they're all lazy and don't actually do journalism. But I had a question that was more pertinent to me. I would like to know if I'm going to get arrested by the FBI.
And join Brandon in the clink?
Am I going to join Brandon in the clink? That is the question of the hour. Well, he's in Omaha, so I might not be joining him out there, but yeah.
Oh, goodness. Well, that would be terrible.
It would be terrible. It's why I want a psychic.
On like a payphone.
I had to create a whole plan. No, this was my life yesterday in my house. I had to create a whole plan for Victor for what to do if I'm arrested. I have it all laid out in sticky notes on my desk so he knows right where to find it. I have passwords for everything, for the computer and all this stuff, so he can tweet stuff from my account if he needs to. I have lawyers' phone numbers. I have a whole plan of like, first you get me a lawyer, second you set up a fundraising campaign to pay the lawyer like ASAP, and I have instructions for what to do. I made a whole plan just in case I get arrested. So now I feel more comfortable if I get arrested for doing nothing wrong. At least I'm going to be taken care of.
Can we have like an Excel document or a spreadsheet? I'm not happy with like Post-its. It kind of makes me feel a little.
It's who comes in my office? No one.
Post-its can be disappeared. Like files are good, printed out and like linked. Google Drive. I'm just saying. I
think that Post-its on my desk, right where he's going to see them, is exactly the right plan. I don't, because a spreadsheet would require a password to get into my computer, and then he'd have to figure out where I put the file. And you don't even want to see my desktop nowadays. My desktop is a nightmare. I think Post-its are a much more preferable plan.
I think send a Google Doc to him with a link that he can edit and add. But you won't need any of this anyway. It's moot point.
Well, you're going to psychic this. Okay, here's the question. Am I going to get arrested by the FBI? Joshua, go.
And tell me when I should stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
The Sun, Princess of Cups, the Tower. I don't think so.
I don't like the Tower. I don't like the sound of that.
You know, the Sun card brings, yeah. The Sun card brings all of that light. I think, I think that if you did, it would be in the future.
Oh, excellent. I'm not sure that's a good answer either.
Not infraction. No, the Sun card is just really, it's really about, I think that with the Sun card, it really has to do with like your will. So if you wanted to, like in the future, to like prove a point or whatever, with the Princess of Cups, no, it's all diffused. With the Tower card, I think that, you know, with the Tower card being so positively defined, I think if anything, it was almost like, you know, wake up call, if anything. I mean, this is very jarring for anyone who was anywhere near the Capitol on January 6th. I mean, you're not the only one, I'm sure, that was like crapping their pants over this. So, I mean,
wouldn't say, you know what I mean, to be honest with you, I wouldn't really say I was crapping my pants. We were actually so people know in the chat, like I was actually on the phone with Joshua or on a Zoom with Joshua when I found out the news. And that was certainly a little shocking, but I always felt like I never really felt in danger. Like, first off, like I don't know what they could possibly get me on because I didn't go in the building and I didn't even really do anything outside. I walked around and I filmed stuff and I didn't even talk to anyone really. So I don't know what they could possibly even like get me on, to be honest. Brandon was a little bit of a different story, but I don't know. I just don't really feel that uncomfortable about it.
No, I think you're fine. I think you're fine.
Well, that's good news, guys. I'm not getting arrested by the FBI. Yay! But I'm sure, guys, more information will be coming out about Brandon. Just so you guys know, I have seen like the video that like started this whole thing. I am now convinced more than ever, Joshua, that him getting arrested was BS because he was not the person. So basically, like the FBI or like whoever, like the charging documents said Brandon. They said he told people at the Capitol to take shields away from the police officers, but there's actually a videotape of this happening, and it was not Brandon's voice. It was like not even close to being Brandon's voice. So I think they're full of shit. I don't think they really have what they're trying to make it seem like they do, and I think they're trying to make an example out of him, and I think it's really sad.
Yeah, well, I think because he has so much recognition in that whole political realm. Is that why? Because he's
I mean, I think he's probably one of the higher profile people that they've arrested. I
see. Okay. Yeah. Have you heard from him?
I have not yet, but I know that he was going to go to, I'm sure it's been a very long day for him. I know that he went to court earlier today to get released, and I have no reason to think that hasn't happened.
Oh, okay. So he's been released.
I'm not sure yet, but you know, I have no reason to think that hasn't happened. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Like the Omaha, like I don't know, the Omaha Journal or whatever, if they covered the case, because it would be really nice to like find out what went on in the trial.
Well, know? I'm sure we'll be able to find out more information about that in the coming days. And guys, if anyone's in the chat has seen anything, I've actually been in Zoom calls basically since like this afternoon sometimes. So if anyone's seen anything or has an update, definitely let us know. But Brandon is a tough cookie. He is a fighter and he's going to be just fine. I have full faith in that. In fact, this might even piss him off more if I'm honest about it. And I kind of think that might be a good thing.
But all of these charges, though, does it mean that he could be in there for quite some time, or is it really just like a daily thing? Like, what do you think?
I really don't know. I mean, it doesn't really seem to me that he did anything wrong. He didn't go in the Capitol, so I don't know how they could even get away with that charge. I don't think he yelled the things that they said he did in the video. I don't think that was his voice. And so I don't know how this could possibly stick, to be honest. It doesn't really seem to me like there's like clear-cut evidence that he actually did anything wrong other than being in the wrong place at the wrong time and, you know, videoing it. I mean, that seems to be the greatest offense here. So I don't think but I'm not a lawyer. I have no idea. I'm not the best person to ask about this particular question.
Okay. Well, hopefully all will be resolved soon.
Indeed.
We'll be fine.
Indeed. Well, Joshua, I did have another question because something else important happened just yesterday in that the House delivered impeachment articles on Donald Trump to the Senate.
Oh, God.
So we're about to have impeachment too, except that Donald Trump's no longer in office, so I don't know what the hell sense this makes. But it's funny, though, because you know how in normal impeachment trials, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court presides over the impeachment trial?
Okay, I don't, but now I do.
Yeah, so that's normally a thing. The Constitution says the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court will preside. Well, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court has opted out of presiding over the trial because
Wow.
he's like, it's not an impeachment trial. Trump's not in office. There's one president. He's not under impeachment. I'm not doing it.
The motive, though, is so that he will not run again. Is that why you think, or is he well?
I think that I certainly think that that's part of it. I mean, Rick Grinnell came out, and maybe that's a question we can psychic too. Is Trump planning on running again? But Rick Grinnell came out this week and said that, yeah, Trump wants to run again. So it could be to keep him from running again. I think it's a much bigger message. I think it is a message from the establishment to any outsider that ever tries to do what Donald Trump did again. Don't you dare, or we will destroy you. And we won't even stop once you're out of office. We will destroy you. That's what I think this is about.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. But so they're still going ahead though. They've appointed Patrick Leahy apparently is going to be the judge, who's like 88,000 years old, my former senator from Vermont. And
wow.
I mean, I don't think anything could possibly go wrong with judging the trial of your political opponents as a matter of precedent. Do you think anything could go wrong with that plan, Joshua?
Oh, no conflict of interest whatsoever.
No. So what I wanted to psychic is, will Trump be convicted in this sham impeachment trial?
What was the word you said? Did you say impeached or convicted?
Convicted. Yeah. Will he be convicted in the Senate?
What is convicted? Does that mean like jail?
No. Well, no, it means he's guilty. So impeachment is like in the House, it's like the grand jury, right? They say like, we think you probably did something shady. But the Senate is where they actually have the trial. So they have to present their case. Trump gets to have a defense. He didn't get to have a defense in the House. They didn't even hear any side other than, crazy train from the Democrats. So this is Trump gets to mount a defense, and then the senators vote, and if 2/3 of them vote to convict him, he is convicted, and I don't even know if anything else happens other than that. Apparently he loses his presidential library and his Secret Service protection or something.
Oh, okay. So do me a favor and just say that again. Will Trump be convicted?
Will Trump be convicted in the impeachment trial?
And tell me when to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Two of Wands, pleasure, Five of Swords. I like the Six of Cups here. I don't think so. I mean, I think he obviously has to watch his back with Five of Swords, but with the pleasure card, Two of Wands comes up. So this is like a big old power struggle, but with the pleasure card, this is usually a matter of like, it's a nice card of, I think that, yeah, it's sort of like a balance, like an emotional balance. This card is actually ruled by Scorpio. It's Sun in Scorpio. So it is about that sort of like doing a good turn for another, as I spoke about when we talked about Biden. What concerns me is the Five of Swords is that, I think, there's obviously a lot of like self-interest there, but overall I would be very surprised if he were convicted.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get convicted either. It takes 2/3, and although some fucking Republicans have defected like traitors, most of them are not. And I think it'd be really stupid for them to do it, honestly, because like they're going to piss off so many people. I don't even know. Can we psychic on like a motivation? Can I ask you like what is Joe Biden's motivation for moving forward with this? Because I don't even understand. I mean, I take that back. I completely understand why he's doing it, but not if we're looking at it through the lens of Joe Biden wants to be the unity president of bringing the country together, and because it just doesn't make sense, right? Why would he try the outgoing president if he wants to bring the country together? He's just going to piss off half the country. So can we look at his motivation, like the real motivation?
Yeah, and just say, what's Joe Biden's real motivation for?
What is Joe Biden's real motivation for this sham impeachment trial?
And I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Oh. Whew.
What's that?
Well, this here we have the Tower first.
Ah, I knew it was going to be the Tower card. I knew it. I psychic that shit.
And then with Knight of Wands and then Swiftness. This is like a lot of fire. I feel that I feel like he feels this absolutely needs to be done, in the sense that I think that he might perceive there being another threat if something is not done to make him sort of break down the structures. That's what the Tower is all about. It's all about breaking down the structures of what had been built before. So, okay, this is it. There are people that support Trump that are going to be now like a little bit more anti-Trump due to the impeachment trial, is what I get. And I think that's his purpose. Like, Joe is trying to like break down the structures that exist and like clear the way with like lightning and just sort of like get him the F out. Do you know what I mean? Like, he wants to like clear things up. And I also think that there's just a tremendous amount of pressure. I think it is like a playing politics thing. Like, if it was a work scenario, it's like you have all these people that got you into office saying, we need you to do this. You know, his hands are sort of tied. But yeah, he is, I think that Joe's really a little bit frightened. I think it's an act of like, not only I think is a lot of peer pressure, so to speak, but I think, yeah, Joe's a little bit terrified. Did we ever find out what was in that note that was very generous?
No, we haven't found out yet, I don't think. I want to know what's in that note, though. I want to know.
It was like blackmail or something. Do you know what I mean? Because like, I don't know. I mean, it was nice for Joe to say that, but it was almost like generous. Like, what, did he cut him a check? Did he like what could he have said or done? Maybe it was a matter of like, I'll open up my hotels for the troops. I don't know. He obviously offered something.
Trump did that. Trump opened up his hotel for the troops.
Okay, well, maybe that was why he said he was generous. I don't know. That whole thing was just weird.
That was like the only unifying thing that Biden did, was say that Trump's note was generous. That's it. That was all.
Well, I think it was really a good move on both of their parts. You know what I mean? To sort of like calm down things. You know what I mean? Like, I think that that was an honorable thing for Trump to do, and at the end, and I mean, you know, irrespective of what he felt about the election, you know, I think that he did a good job at the very end with the generous letter, and just to like, you know, calm down the chaos, because that was like really crazy.
Well, it's kind of creeping me out that Trump is being so quiet. I'm going to be honest. I miss Trump. I do. I miss it. And I'm a little creeped out that we haven't heard from him in a while.
Well, he hasn't slept in, I guess, for 4 years, so they say.
Well, I don't know if I believe that, but.
Well, I don't know. Well, Obama used to play basketball every day. That was his like thing, your beloved Obama.
I don't know that I would call him my beloved anymore.
At one point he was, maybe ages ago.
A long time ago.
Decades.
So that was like another lifetime, Josh. We don't like to talk about that. That was another lifetime.
You're right. I bring up.
Besides, Kate here says, "Happy birthday, Joshua!"
Thank you very much. Don't I look 25?
You do. You look amazing for 25.
I'm so wise. I'm wise and like so young for 25.
Well, I have one more question before we get to our super chats. And that's like, I think it's a pretty natural question, because Rick Grinnell again came out and said that Trump is thinking about running again. Is Trump gonna run again?
In 2024, right?
Yes.
And I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Completion, Hierophant, Wheel. Woo! All my cards just fell.
Oh, good.
Completion, Hierophant, and Wheel. I think it's possible. I know he's going to be involved in doing something. But the completion card says that like this is just sort of like a, just like a relief. But the Hierophant and we said the Wheel. Did I say the Wheel?
The Wheel.
He is planning something, so it's either going to be him or I feel his daughter.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm interested to see what Trump does next. I don't know. Joshua's got to clean up apparently. Guys, well, Joshua cleans up his cards.
I got to clean up my mess.
Well, he cleans up his mess. Please smash that like button if you have not already. Come on, guys. We need some thumbs up.
Mount.
Okay, well, what do you want them to do?
Smash is your friend Adams, which is fine. Adam's lovely. But we say mount.
Mount that like button. Mount.
I hope I'm
like
full deck.
Well, I mean, speaking of mounting, Joshua, Dragon Water says Joshua looks 15.
Older than that.
63 Rambler says, keep us posted on where to donate for Barron's legal costs. I will, guys. I don't have any information about that, but as soon as I know, you will know. All right, we do have some super chats. Let's see. Joshua, are you ready to take questions, or are you futzing about?
I just need 1 minute.
He's counting. All right, guys. Well, I guess let me see. I have to fill the gap. I don't know. What are you guys doing? Hanging out? Having a good time? Mount that like button if you haven't already. I really have no filler content. I don't. It's been a long day, guys. It's been a long day. The pressure. We're almost there. Oh, Anthony, that's a good question. Excellent.
I'm playing with a full deck. And you thought all this time.
Well, God, he isn't even drunk. Not drunk or stoned, I don't think.
I'm not. Oh, did I tell you they opened up outdoor dining in LA?
I did hear that. Well, now that Biden is president, Joshua, you know what that means? It means that you can't get sick from the coronavirus.
Hey, funny how that works.
It is funny how that works. I'll have to come out to LA. You can take me out to dinner.
I can take you out to dinner finally. Yeah, like with our masks, walking aimlessly to 7-Elevens to see if they'll give us a ham sandwich.
You're going to take me out to a nicer dinner than 7-Eleven if I come out to
now we can, because the restaurants will be open. Excellent. I always take you out to very nice places.
He does. You do. You do take me out to very nice places. You wine me and dine me. It's true.
I do. Because I have a little class. When I'm not white trash, I'm classiest guy in the world.
All right, now that Joshua has recombobulated,
let's do this. Let's do it. Yeah.
We're gonna do some super chats. HB Lawrence says, love your show. Can Joshua psychic? And Joshua, I just want credit again for making psychic a verb. You didn't think I was going to be able to make psychic a verb, but I did make psychic a verb.
It's amazing. And not only you, but it's like, it's totally catching on. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can you psychic if America will eventually switch to a form of socialized medicine like in European countries?
Socialized medicine.
Like Medicare for all or universal health care or things like that.
America, right?
America.
And what was the term you called it? Socialized healthcare?
Socialized medicine.
And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Art, Princess of Cups, Science. I think that we're on our way. Yeah.
Really?
I think that we are on our way. I mean, the art card is really about international stuff in a lot of respects, also about expansion. It's also taking cues from other countries. I mean, with Princess of Cups, like there's a loosening. Like the reason why it's such a big to-do is because it's big money, right? Like it's big money the way things are right now. But But Princess of Cups doesn't give her, she's all about being sensitive and caring. And that's another thing. Like, say you want about Scorpios or Joe Biden, but they are much more emotional and empathic, and they feel what other people feel. And then with science, we're definitely talking about a transition. So I do think that we're going to be taking our cues from other countries in terms of that. Yeah.
All right, get ready for it, guys. Medicare for all is on its way. I'm not sure that's a good thing, but that's what it is.
Might take a little bit of time. I would guess like 2 years, 3 years.
Ugh.
I mean, he's going to be making changes this year to it, I believe, right?
Well, we'll see. I mean, there's been a movement to try to force a vote on this in Congress now that they control everything. And basically the whole idea about why they haven't done it is that they don't think they have the votes.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah. I mean, follow the money. That's why, there's an issue with it, obviously, who's making out, like bandits.
Well, we'll have to see if it comes to pass. You predicted it first.
Yes.
Thomas Bennett wants to know, will Lisa Murkowski of Alaska lose her seat in 2022? She voted for the impeachment trial to go forward along with 4 other Republicans, which is, whatever. So this is a good question. Will Lisa Murkowski lose her Senate seat?
Lisa. So is Lisa going bye-bye?
Yes.
Lisa going bye-bye. Bye-bye, Lisa. What's your last name?
Murkowski.
And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Is Lisa going bye-bye? Ace of Cups, Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands. No, she has some friends in some high places. Is she like tied up with Nancy?
No, she's a Republican.
She's a Republican.
Yeah. Well, in theory.
In theory. And she voted against Trump?
Yes. That's why it's in theory.
Yeah. I think with Ace of Cups, Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands definitely talks about a change, but I think it would be through her own volition. Like, I don't think that none of these cards say that she's going to get tossed.
Well, we'll see. We'll have to send Scott Pressler up to Alaska.
Alaska.
Yeah.
Have you been to Alaska?
I have not been to Alaska. I really want to do an Alaskan cruise. Like, I really want to do an Alaskan cruise at some point. But every time I try to look at an Alaskan cruise, I always get enticed away with a Caribbean cruise where it's nice and warm.
It is, yeah.
Like, in theory, I want to go to Alaska. In practice, I want to sit on the beach. All right, let me see. I'm looking through the chat to make sure. Okay, Anthony Gonzalez says, Joshua, will Pisces have a good year in 2021?
Oh, I hope so. Well, astrologically, a lot of stuff right now is going on in the 12th house of Pisces, because you have like that Saturn and Jupiter and Aquarius. So you guys rule the subconscious. So really, honestly, like the best thing that you can do is just paint nice pictures in your head and say nice things to yourself of how you want things to be. Because when that energy leaves Aquarius and goes into Pisces, then you'll be able to create it. So this is sort of like your time to really get in your subconscious whatever it is that you want to manifest. Which is a real good rule of thumb for all of us, but especially for Pisces now, because you get Saturn as well as Jupiter in your 12th house. But let's just see overall for Pisces. Will this be a good year for Pisces? Is that the answer, the question?
Yes.
Will this be a good year for Pisces? And so I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Yeah, it will be. It's the cards are really shown with the Lover's card. It's really very much about choice. And in a lot of respects, it's about moving on. Like, this is a big old moving on card. Like, Pisces are incredibly sacrificial. Like, they're martyrs that can make you cry. And I think that, the Eight of Cups is very much about, like, what are we leaving? So keep that in mind. And with the Moon card, there's going to be a lot of confusion. You got, the big guys, Saturn as well as Jupiter in your 12th house of the subconscious. So there might be a lot of confusion, but just hang in there. It's okay to be confused. You don't need to have everything figured out this instant. And that's really important, like for today, because like there's so much confusion going on right now with Mercury slowing down and the full moon upon us on Thursday. So just hang in there. You don't need to know everything this red hot minute.
Well, now we've sparked a whole bunch of other people asking, will it be a good year for their sign? And guys, I'll take those questions. We're going to answer them. But just so you know, Joshua does have his own YouTube channel.
Ooh.
And the information is below. And he does astrological stuff to help you get organized and to better succeed on his YouTube channel. So
and readings. I'll do readings too.
Yes, he does readings. You can always book time with him for a one-on-one reading, but make sure you subscribe to Joshua's YouTube channel if you like his psychic tree. Psychic tree is the next word I'm going to make happen.
It's getting really close. Yeah.
It's really, really close. All right, let's see. You guys aren't asking many questions about politics. Maybe everyone is just sick and tired of politics. I don't even know. But let's see. We're gonna do a couple more about politics, and then we'll get to all these astrological ones. Gloria wants to know, Joshua, will there be many people that will take the red pill? And I'm gonna say this year. Will a lot of people take the red pill this year?
And I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Well, a lot of people take the red pill this year. I'm going to say yes.
Yay! Why do you say that?
The judgment card comes up. So this is about just being very, very much separating the wheat from the chaff and saying judging and being discriminating. And then the Lover's card is about, a lot of compare and contrast analysis, how things were for people beforehand. I think a lot of people, a lot of blue are going to be like, that's weird. I was doing so much better in the economy when Trump was in office, and we had COVID was more, you know what I mean? So then we have the Six of Swords that is about transition. So I do think so. I think that there's definitely going to be flips.
Well, and this is one of the things I tried to tell people is that a Biden presidency could be the absolute best thing in terms of red pilling a lot of people really quickly.
I think so, but I feel like it's going to be they're going to be really fed up with other people that are in leadership.
Good. So it'll all be blamed on the Democrats. Good.
Yeah, somebody else is going to get a lot of heat. Maybe it's Nancy.
Oh, God willing. God willing. So I did see a question come up in the chat, and it wasn't a super chat. So I'm exercising my privilege just because I'm really actually curious about this answer. Joshua, do you know that your governor is very close to getting recalled?
Oh, really?
Yes, he is.
Oh.
Can we psychic if Gavin Newsom is going to get recalled?
Yeah, let's.
Now you guys are sending in all the damn super chats. Which we very much appreciate.
Will Gavin Newsom get recalled?
Yes.
And so I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Five of Swords, Prince of Cups, Balance. I think it's much closer. We've looked at this before. Mm-hmm. I think it's much closer now than previously with Five of Swords. I think that he pissed off the wrong person.
Good. I think this is going to send a message to people. We were talking about this in my locals earlier. I agree with whoever in my local said this was going to send a message to people. Don't F around like Gavin Newsom.
I can't believe it. I can't. I still can't believe. There was somebody in California. Did you hear about that? She kept her restaurant open and then they shut off her gas. Did you hear about that?
I did not hear about that.
But what kind of badass bitch keeps her restaurant open? I was saying to my friend, I'm like, she must be one badass bitch, but and amazing and deserves respect. But can you imagine working for somebody who has that balls? You know what I mean? You imagine.
Oh, I wouldn't want to work for them. No.
Can you imagine?
That would be awful.
You should check her out. Get her on one of your live streams.
I should. Maybe I will.
Yeah, you totally should.
You'll have to send me who she was.
I will, yeah.
So Colin Sanders wants to know, Josh, what deck do you use and why?
I use Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. It's just honestly the reason why I do that. I obviously was trained on the rider, and I know the rider really well. And I think anybody who starts tarot should always start with the rider. I use the Thoth deck because honestly, all of my readings are so important to me. Except for the ones that I do for myself. I really don't care about the ones I do for myself. But if I'm being paid to do readings or if I'm doing on a show, these cards I use because they are the ones that are the most, they talk to me the most, and I get the most energy from them. I really would love to be one of those people that like swap decks and like use this deck, or have the client pick a deck. But they're just, my readings are so important that I really feel like I have to go with these.
You also have a housewives deck, don't you?
Oh, I have the yeah.
Don't do serious psychic readings on the housewife tarot deck?
I would love to. But yeah, no, I it's so weird. Like I will, I could obviously do a very good reading with this deck, but I just feel that like these just talk to you. The artwork is just so beautiful, and there's so much symbolism. It's outrageous. But always start with the rider. Like, let's not jump, to calculus when you haven't finished long division,
Well, there you go. Little Flame says, happy birthday, Joshua. Hi, Karlyn. Hello. Both Dragon Water and someone else asked about Virgos too. Two people asked about Virgos. Dragon Water and Aaron asked about what the year will be like for Virgos, which is a good question too, because Victor is a Virgo.
That's a good question. Well, I have to do a little bit of math.
Oh, Bill says he uses the Osho Zen deck, which I have the Osho Zen deck right here. In fact, I do cards. I pull a card for my locals every morning, and I do a little Zen lesson.
I think that's great. Yeah, I think it's really good for meditation, don't you find?
Yes.
Earrings, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Yeah. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, okay, yeah. So for Virgos, the big stuff, it's really about expanding and really getting, your routines like all set. Hold on one second. Yeah. So it's about like getting their routines all set and making sure that like everything's like buttoned up, their systems and their processes. So the big thing for Virgo right now is going to be about health as well as work for the next year, this whole year. So it really is it's going to be important to make sure that you're, everything's running smoothly, that you're being efficient, that you're doing things that have heart and meaning. Like, don't put your precious energy into things that don't bring you joy. It's just foolish. I think Virgos always undercut themselves. You know what I mean? They never realize like how talented and how adept they actually are.
Oh, it is the truth. Yes.
They downplay their abilities because they're so, perfectionistic. But the big thing is like health and work you love, and also a healthy regime that you love. But let's see what you guys get for this year. You want to know how the year is going to be for Virgos. Is that correct?
Yes.
And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
This is going to be good. You got to think, right? With Saturn and Jupiter in the 6th house of Virgo, which is really the house that rules Virgo, is the 6th house. It makes sense that like this would be a really great year to really cut cake. So with Queen of Discs, this is really nice. This is just, things being stable. You're not, rolling in it with like money everywhere, but you're doing really well. And like things are nice and stable and grounded and practical. But before the end of this year, Virgo, there is going to be a chance of destiny. There's going to be an opportunity for you to like switch careers or switch into something else that's going to give you some real world power. So you're going from Queen of Discs to the Emperor, Queen of Discs to the Emperor. So it's sort of like, doing what you're supposed to do, but then with the Emperor, you have real solidity. So yeah, between now and end of year, there's going to be an opportunity. Like you're do all the right things and just jump on it.
You guys are asking all the different sides now in the chat. Oh my god! Now I don't know if we're gonna be able to get through all the different sides.
We'll do a special thing, Karlyn.
We'll do a special thing.
New year, new you. Ah!
Maybe we'll do that on your channel. Get people to come over and subscribe to you.
Yeah, that's an idea. Yeah,
that is a good idea. All right, let me see. Well, our next question is from Shane, and Shane says, since we're asking astrology questions, how about 2021 for Libra? Lol, that said, you guys are awesome, and I hope you are doing well. All right, how's it going to be for Libras, Joshua?
Let's see.
This is also suspenseful.
I think it's really this year is all about like, doing things that you really love. The Saturn and Jupiter energy is going to be in your 5th house of play, which is really, really great. So this is like getting in touch with like your inner teenager, right? So it's sort of like, it's not necessarily the greatest time for falling in love. So it's more for falling in love than it is for like getting married. Like this is like your dating time. And if you're looking for a partner, fine, but make sure you're having a lot of fun with that person. And it's also just, things that make you laugh, like play, things that light you up, like enjoy your life. You'll expand this year by having fun and keeping yourself lit up. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. What does Libra need to know for this year? Whoops. And tell me when I should stop shuffling for Libra this year, Karlyn.
Stop.
What does Libra need to know for this year? Oh my God, this is so cool. I mean, it's like so interesting. We keep getting the Wheel of Fortune. So there's a balancing act that's being required throughout the whole year. So it's going to be almost like you probably will do better balancing more than one thing. In terms of like 2 jobs, 2 lovers, 2 hobbies, passion. What you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other. I'll just remind you of that.
Oh my.
But then you have the Wheel of Fortune, and then so it's a little, I don't want to say anticlimactic, but it's sort of a matter of you're going to get a sense of destiny.
Certainly not with 2 lovers. It better not be anticlimactic.
That's a good one. So the Wheel of Fortune shows up, so this is going to be an opportunity, but with the 4 of Swords, you've got to, don't feel like you have to race into anything. So for instance, if you get proposed to, and if it's not a hell yeah, then you want to relax a little bit. So there's going to be some beautiful opportunities, Libra, and it's all wonderful, but don't feel like anybody has a gun to your head making you do anything. So this is definitely saying, unless you are 100% sure, do not sign in that dotted line, especially under Mercury retrograde. It's in its shadow now, and it will be so until, it will be retrograde until February 20th, and you want to give it a little bit of time. So really, like, don't try to do new things if you can between now and say March 17th. I know. March 6th, maybe. I forget when the shadow ends.
Joshua, Alexandra has a super chat just for you. She says, Joshua's weekly Organize Your Ass vids are amazing. Everyone should definitely subscribe to him. Happy birthday. Be safe. Thank you both.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's see. Okay, Dragon Water actually has a new, a kind of like entertainment related question, Joshua. Can you predict the future for the movie and TV industry this year?
Oh boy.
And Dragon Water also just subscribed to your channel.
Thank you so much. Oh, so the shadow period ends March 13th. So do what you can, particularly Libra, but all of us really. Let's try not to start brand new ideas between now and March 13th, if at all possible. I'm sorry, what was the question?
What is the future for the movie and TV industry this year?
I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
So it's a brand new, it's a really big start, and they are actually going to be on more solid ground. I feel that for a lot of people, this was an opportunity for them to really consolidate their resources and prepare. So, people are very, very smart. It makes sense because LA is a Virgo. So they're, very they're going to they probably saved a lot. Like big people may have saved some money or came up with some ideas to make them really cohesive. There's still a state of confusion in terms of what's going to be going on. But with the Magician, there's going to be some really cool stuff. I feel it's going to be more toward the end of the year, more toward like fall. So I think that things are going to be really, really good by fall, and you're gonna see some really, really cool stuff being done that almost looks like miraculous. Really, really cool things in terms of like graphics and like. Just really, you're going to be very impressed, is my feeling.
Well,
this
that makes
period is good.
That makes me happy because I need new movies. I am so desperate for new movies. Like I've never been desperate for new movies in my effing life.
Oh my god! So there's a movie I saw on Lifetime. You've got to see it. You have the Lifetime on Prime, right?
Yes.
It's called Allegiance. Something Allegiance. It is so good.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody's gonna watch it.
I don't know about that.
Allegiance. Oh my god, I couldn't believe how it's so bad it's good. It's called Swearing Allegiance. It's on Lifetime. Thank me later.
All right, I'm gonna watch this movie, Joshua, and if it sucks, I know where you live.
No, it is good. It was intense. It was really intense. Yeah.
We'll see. All right, Cindy Chastain says, will anyone be able to stop critical race theory from ruining our country? This is actually a good question. Yes. No pressure, Joshua.
No pressure. Will anyone be able to stop critical race theory from
ruining our country?
I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Let's see. Ace of Cups, Nine of Wands, the Star. Yeah, there's going to be much more innovative things that come up. I feel. Yeah, I think that again, it almost is like I feel it's almost middle shelf. The Aquarius card, the Star card comes up. It's very, Aquarius is very much about equality. And I think that like the big argument with critical race theory, I mean, obviously this is your bag, not mine, but it's sort of a matter of in trying to make things more equal, they're actually making them unjust.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Well put, Joshua. You just described it better than most people on the planet.
Hey, I will put that as a feather in my cap. But there's more. There's definitely a lot of innovative stuff. A lot of voices are going to be coming up about this, and I think that what's going to be really that shifts things too is there probably going to be a lot of Black voices.
Oh, good, excellent.
Yeah.
All right,
let's not worry.
So Kate B has an interesting question. She asks, is there something else we're supposed to be looking at while everything else is being directed to the sham impeachment? What are we not supposed to be looking at that they don't want? What don't they want us to see, essentially?
So you're saying it's like a decoy?
Yeah.
Tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Chariot, Two of Discs, and then Seven of Discs. My feeling is that they're trying to, with the Chariot, we're talking about like a brand new beginning and hard control. So I think this is about making sure that Biden has everything in place, is my guess. Just making sure that the new charioteer, which would be Biden, has the is getting up to speed right now, is my feeling of anything. I think that's like the big thing.
All right.
Anything, unfortunately, like exciting, like aliens or
Well, that's too bad. But I got some exciting news while you were doing that. I'm gonna show you something live that's really cool. Then we're gonna get back to super chats in a sec, guys. I promise. So this is the Epic Times. This is a news source that I really like, and I'm just gonna scroll down the Epic Times homepage, Joshua, while you're paying attention to the screen, and we're just gonna see what we find. Who's on the Epic Times homepage right now? That's me.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
Yay. So you guys will have to go and watch the video I did. I was on American Thought Leaders with the Epic Times. I just did the interview yesterday and they've already got it up. Oh, that's not it. I need both of us. There we go. That's kind of cool, huh?
So when did you get an alert?
No, someone in the chat just said, congratulations being on the homepage. And I was like, I didn't know I was on the homepage. That's sweet.
I want to look. Epic Times. That is so cool. I'm so glad that happened.
All right. We got a couple more questions, though.
Okay.
Let's see. Armani V. Okay. I tweeted out again yesterday, I think, that I really I'm committed to my my diagnosis that Kamala Harris and her husband have never actually had sex. And and Armani V. No, wait, hang on. That was the wrong question. Hang on. Yes, Armani V says, are Kamala Harris and her husband a legit couple? These two don't look like one at all.
Can we go for another question?
Okay, Joshua feels bad. I'm right.
I mean, I wouldn't if she wasn't a Libra. Like, I can't be attacking like a Libra.
Well, you just said Libras are going to be.
Maybe, I don't know, but Libras are all about their partners. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Well, okay, Aaron wants to know: have leftists outlived their usefulness to the Democrats?
Ooh,
that's a good question.
Yeah. Have leftists outlived their usefulness? And I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
The Sun, Princess of Cups, the Tower. Whew! Yeah, I think you're gonna see things are gonna be like it's almost like everybody gets along, everybody's gonna be really, really, really great over the next, little bit. And then with the Tower card, it's almost gonna be like fighting. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I think it's gonna be a lot of fighting.
Everybody's like getting along famously, I think, in the very beginning, and like almost to that point of like, oh yeah. And then it's sort of like more and more things are being said, and it's like, no, that's not right. Do you know what I mean? And then it's going to be, I think there's going to be almost, there's definitely going to be like this war type energy, I think.
I hope so. I think it's going to be interesting to watch. Okay, we have to do this next one for Armani V, though, Joshua. You declined the last one.
Sorry, Armani.
And he wants to know, will Melania have her revenge on the mainstream media and Vogue? Suddenly, Vogue is saying fashion is back in the White House after ignoring Melania for 4 years.
That is such a... Honestly, that is so crazy to think that they can even say that she doesn't know how to dress. She's impeccable.
She really is. Yeah.
Vogue magazine they've gone insane, essentially. If they don't think that she looks good, they're insane. Okay. So what was the question? I'm sorry, Armani.
Will Melania get her revenge on the mainstream media?
And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Pleasure, completion, worry. I don't think so. I think that she's more of the type that, is going to be more focused on like, the home. And I do think that there's some kind of media that she is going to be cozy with. it might not be mainstream, but I think that's going to be enough for her because she's closing a cycle. And I think with 5 of discs, I don't think she has like skin in the game. Like I think it's going to hurt her to sort of like speak out against them at this point. I think that she just wants to like live her life and take care of her child. And
yeah,
chorus wants to like, they don't want to be bothered with this nonsense. You know what I mean?
Fair enough. All right, guys, we're going to do one more super chat because Fran's got one I am curious about as well, but I'm sorry if we didn't get to your super chat tonight. Most of them were honestly about astrology, so maybe we'll take Joshua's suggestion and we'll do a special edition episode with all your astrological signs, and I'll just be snarky and useless.
No.
But Joshua, Fran wants to know, will HR1 pass?
HR1?
It's about like voter ID. And basically every bad voting decision rolled into one bill.
Will it pass?
Yes.
Does the person asking want it to pass or no?
No.
What's the person's name?
Fran.
And what's the name of the thing again? Sorry.
HR1.
How will they... And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Let's see. About Knight of Wands, oppression. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on them. A lot of pressure right now. So things haven't really been decided just yet. With Knight of Wands, somebody's going in there with like a crusade. And with the 10 of Wands, there's an incredible amount of pressure. So I would be at this point, and again, things are a little bit up in the air with the 7 of Cups, but at this point, there's so much pressure to make it pass that I'd be surprised if it didn't, unfortunately, Fran.
Boo. That would not be good. That would like really not be good, to be honest.
Who's the zealot?
I'm not sure who the zealot is.
Yeah, interesting.
Maybe Nancy. Yeah. All right, guys, we have run out of time for this week. I'm really sorry if we didn't get to your super chat, but we do try to do our best. Now, the best way to get your super chat in is to get here early on Tuesdays at 9:30 and get that super chat in, and that way it'll be at the top of the pile, because once we get to the end of the show, it's a little bit harder, and Joshua is anal about his schedule, and we have to end at a certain time. So it just is what it is. Joshua, do you have any final words for tonight?
Yeah, we got a full moon on Thursday, folks. Full moon. This is a very confusing time for a lot of people. So if you're feeling as if like things are a little bit aimless and up in the air and like you're going backwards, that's also because Mercury's in its shadow. So do whatever it is that you can to like relax, especially on Thursday. Like, tempers could flare. So you want to do whatever you can to sort of like really direct your energy and not, blow up. What's that expression, Karlyn? Not blow a gasket? Is that correct?
Blow a gasket.
Don't blow a gasket. It's not worth it. And especially under Mercury retrograde, because you cannot unring a bell.
All right, guys. If you want to get in touch with Joshua, his website is psychicsun, like the sun.com. It's in the description below. Also, again, make sure you subscribe to Joshua's YouTube channel so you don't have to come and do super chats with us. You can just watch Joshua's YouTube channel to get your astrological guidance. Or you can set up a time to meet with him and chat with him and, whatever. All right, guys, that's all we have for tonight. We will be back next week, same time, same place. Also, I do have I have 2 more streams this week. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be talking to a woman who went back to college in her 40s, and she's going to tell us all the crazy shit that they are teaching people. And I had a pre-interview with her, and I was blown away at how much crazy shit is going on in colleges that we don't know because we're not students. So tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. for that. And then on Thursday, I'm going to have Truman, Return to Reason, on the channel, and he and I are going to talk about where does all this censorship stuff go and some practical things that we think people need to know and be aware of moving forward to cover their own asses and protect themselves. So that's Thursday at 2 p.m. as well. All right, guys, that's all we have for tonight. Thank you for spending some time with us, and we'll be back next week. Bye.
Bye.